Hey, I wanted to tell you guys and encourage you, if you are kind of like me with a tricky body and you will soon be getting the COVID vaccine. Happy Monday, you guys. I just came back down. Peter and I were up in the working room getting caught up on some orders. Our printer had a weird issue, like the one that makes my art prints. And thankfully Peter got it figured out. I was starting to feel like, what are we gonna do if this thing just decides to print things the wrong color? Anyway, he got it figured out. And so I went up there and I was working on some orders with him. And I started to feel that like weird shaky feeling. And I was like determined to ignore it. I thought in my head like, okay, I feel it like starting to get, it like starts with just like a little twinge of a feeling of like something doesn't feel quite right. But then it kind of builds in my system, and then it feels like it's starting to overtake me. And so I'm sitting up there at my working desk, and I was just like, I'm just gonna see what happens if I just ignore it, because I'm sick of it. Anyway, then I started feeling like I was gonna burst into tears. So, couldn't ignore it. But, anyway, I thought about turning the camera on earlier. Do you guys remember that exciting thing through one of my insurance? One of the benefits is that I get a quarterly shopping spree. $40 to buy like pharmacy related items. So I was going to take you on that epic, what is that very large sound? It sounded like the house was like cracking in half. I was gonna take you on that shopping adventure. It went a little like this. First of all, the site wasn't working. It's just like a really clunky, doesn't work very well kind of website. Anyway, I was going through the different tabs of what you can look for this shopping experience. And one tab is like digestive care. One tab is like first aid. Whatever, whole bunch of things. And so it's like, do I want to buy Tums or Band-Aids? Riveting stuff. Anyway, I ended with an ice pack, a flexible ice pack for my head, of course, which I tried to order last time and they didn't have it. An ice pack, hydrocortisone cream for Peter's feet, and allergy pills for Peter. Not very exciting, but I think that's what I ended with. See, I had to play around with it. I might have ended with toothbrushes. I forget. All I know is I'm hopefully getting that ice pack. The rest will be a surprise. And now I look forward to another 3 months from now when I get to order it again. Oh man. Yes. Exciting things. So, hey, I wanted to tell you guys and encourage you, if you are kind of like me with a tricky body and you will soon be getting the COVID vaccine. My body handled it way better than we thought. I mean, like way better. The first night, so first of all, I started taking Tylenol every 6 hours before symptoms started. Around 12 hours after the vaccine, my fever and headache started. And I had a fever through the night. I did not sleep well that night, that first night. And then the next day, I had a pretty good migraine. the fever lessened, although I continued taking the Tylenol. And then, so Friday I got it. So Friday night was rough, but it could have been way worse. I wasn't nauseous or puking. I wasn't, I was sleeping, not super well, but like I was sleeping, so that was good. Let's see, Friday night, Saturday, I had a headache. It got pretty bad, and then, but no fevers that day. And then Sunday morning, I woke up with a headache. I thought, oh no, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get out of bed. But when I got up, it didn't end up being a bad headache. I had already taken Tylenol before I got out of bed. And I was able to go to church and sing, and I was fine yesterday. And then today, all through the night, I knew I had a headache, but it wasn't terrible. So really, it was just that one night of fevers and then headaches, which I'm very prone to headaches anyway, so I think that that's probably, you know, I'm easily triggered, I guess. But just really thankful. I'm really, really thankful. Now, we're not sure if the fatigue feeling is from the first COVID vaccine. So if it is, I am expecting it will probably get even worse after the second one, but who knows? My body is weird and tricky. So I'm not gonna assume that it's gonna do that, but if it does that, I'm not gonna be entirely surprised. I will be entirely disappointed though. This fatigue is really frustrating. Because in my brain, like kind of like I was just telling you, in my brain I'm like, okay, I feel it coming, but I'm going to try not to let it stop me. But then I realize like I get shaky and I start dropping things, and like that whole thing, it's just like not conducive to continuing whatever you're doing, dishes or signing art prints or whatever. It's just like, and it, you know, it makes me start not thinking clearly, and I just need to like lay down. Anyway, yeah, we'll see what happens. And we'll take it day by day. My doctor is aware of all of the fatigue stuff, and we'll continue to keep them up to date on that stuff. But yeah, we're moving on. We're moving on. And welcome to our day. Okay, I feel like nervous to speak too soon, but I think I made it through the hardest bit for my body.
I'm glad.
Let's go.
Let's go out.
We're gonna take these orders, drop those off.
Postal.
And then see what happens.
Hey guys, good morning. Let's do this.
I have a couple of shirts that I got from Target to try out, and they did not work great for me. So we're gonna return those. And don't worry, I'll give you a flower update. Bet you can't guess where my DEXCOM was. If you ever think, oh, that doesn't work for me, don't be afraid to try again, because I never had success with putting the DEXCOM on my stomach, and I decided to try it again, and it worked great this time. It might not work every time, but I am slightly limited on my real estate because of my J-tube, and then also doing my Emgality on my sides. But yeah, it expired, so I forgot. Did you get the, oh yeah, Peter had to run back in to get a gift card, so I was like, ooh, can you grab me a DEXCOM, because mine just expired. So I am going to do a DEXCOM on the go and see how this goes.
Oh.
I'm sure I've done it before in the car, probably. And I'm gonna do it on my stomach again, but I guess I need to clean the goo off and do it over here again, because I can't do it on the other side. Or some people do it up higher, like up near your ribs. I guess I could try that. Well, I won't know unless I try here or here. I was reminding them, if they think something doesn't work for them, don't be afraid to try it again.
That's That's good.
And another thing, the tape I use for my feeding tube, I used to use the white Me-Fix tape, and I thought that was like the only tape that worked for me. Until my home care company said that they don't carry that, and they said, let me send you this blue Kind Remove one. And I was like, it was kind of like this. I'll try it, but it probably won't work. It is amazing. It is so much better than the white one I used to use. So even though I thought I had what worked for me, I am glad I gave it another try. Or gave something else a try. Okay, well, it's not gonna come off. So I'm gonna have to do it in a different spot. I guess I'll do it up here. Confusing. Let me see. Will that work? I don't think that'll work. Maybe I'll... Okay, I think I'll just do it slightly higher. I'm gonna praise him till I'm gone. This is right over my giant spleen, so I am not entirely sure how this is gonna go. Hopefully, I've got enough subcutaneous fat tissue right here. Okay, now I have to save this little scanny part so I can start this sensor on my phone. Okay, hopefully it'll work there. Oh yeah, I just went like this and I could move my arm that way. That was the last thing I did forget to mention. But I feel like it's not even worth mentioning because everybody knows that the COVID vaccine makes your arm
Sore.
sore. It ain't sore. It is injured. I mean, the muscle has taken on an injury. I'm not kidding, guys. I mean, it is like crazy. Anyway, my arm is doing so much better. And that was probably the main reason I couldn't sleep that first night. I mean, I would try to turn over and then be like, oh yeah, not allowed. It hurts so bad. So we have a lot of tomato plants, it turns out. When you put the tomato seed in the dirt and you put many of them in the dirt, many plants come up. It's a thing. So I was talking with Peter about what we're gonna do with all these tomatoes. One, I really wanna give them away. So I'm really hoping we can bless some neighbors and friends and people at church with free produce. That's my hope. If we keep all of the tomato plants, I've tried to give them away on Facebook, I've tried to give them to neighbors, but so far we've only given about 4 away and we have like a dozen or more left. Anyway, it's a good problem to have. It's a very good problem to have. So I was talking with Peter about what we can do with these tomatoes. I was like, I know there was something I wanted to make. I don't feel like we can make our own spaghetti sauce because Peter gets stomach issues with some spaghetti sauces, but not the one we use, so we're gonna stick with that for now. But like a can of diced tomatoes that I use for chili or soup or whatever, I'm planning to make that and then just freeze it. So I have a plan. I think we're probably gonna have a lot of diced tomatoes in the freezer, and that's good. That's really, really good. So I am so excited. We got a pork tenderloin. It was like getting ready to expire, or you know, used by the sell by, use by date, whatever. So we got it for $2.51 at the grocery store, and so it needed to be used or frozen today. So I'm cooking that for dinner. I did like a peach jam soy sauce kind of glaze on it. I hope that works. And then I pulled some rice out of the freezer. I made some rice You good?
Yeah.
Just choking or?
Just choking on a grape.
A grape?
Yeah.
That is one of the highest incidences of choking in infants. So, are you okay for real?
Yeah.
I pulled some rice out of the freezer, and then I'll probably figure out a vegetable.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, he's being so silly. Okay, I think it worked. Our pork tenderloin, I just tasted it. I think it tastes pretty good. Then I used the extra juices from the like peach jam and soy sauce, and I poured it on the broccoli, and then there's rice under it. And the frozen rice, I'm pretty sure it worked. So yeah, and I put hot peppers on it for Peter. I think we'll probably eat outside.
Wow. Look at this. This looks fancy.
Okay, my head's hurting tonight. I need to eat my colored pepper with cream cheese, and I just remembered that I need to fill up my Combler, so.
Combler night.
I'm checking out.
All right.
Good night.
We are doing our puzzle, watching some American Idol, and we'll wrap it up. Thanks for coming on our day with us, and as always, we'll see you tomorrow. Good night. And good night to the poodle noodle.